What up, hotheads? I'm Henry, and this is Blaze the Roof. I've been a little out of action lately due to the fact that my computer battery crapped out, so I had to get it replaced. This week, we'll be reviewing a sauce from Buc-ee's named 7-Pot Primo Pepper Sauce. Even though it says Buc-ee's on the label, it actually is a Mikey V sauce. Mikey V is a noted sauce maker, very popular in the chili head community. I actually went and I compared not only the ingredients but the order, and it's exactly the same. A little bit about Mikey V, also known as Michael Valencia. He makes his sauces out of Georgetown, Texas, which is about 10 miles north of me. In 2010, he moved to Austin and was dared to enter a competition that the Austin Chronicle was having. I guess it was a hot sauce contest. He entered that in 2012. I don't know if he won, but basically that spurred on his career, and he opened up Mikey V's up in Georgetown in 2015. He is a self-described foodie, and a lot of his recipes come from him just trying out making world cuisines in his kitchen. The city he's out of is Georgetown, Texas, which is essentially a suburb of Austin. It was founded in 1848 and named after George Washington Glasscock. Not our first president. Why didn't they call it Glasscock Town? I see nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Okay, I'm apparently 13 years old. So, in 1997, Georgetown was given the distinction of being a great American Main Street city. So it means that it has a very small downtown. I heard it's quaint and lovely. I just don't really go to Georgetown very often. It is home to Southwestern University, which is the oldest university in Texas. Several movies have been filmed in Georgetown, Texas. Some of those include What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Varsity Blues, Dazed and Confused, Michael, Bernie, and the television series Friday Night Lights. Which, actually, I have seen all of those, I believe, except for Michael. But famous people from Georgetown include Yul Box, who composed the music for Benji, the movie. Another famous person, well, I mean, I don't know how many you people actually know them, but it's former infantry captain Eli Whiteley, who received the Medal of Honor after he killed 9 Germans and captured 23 of them. Very impressive if it was done during wartime. Hopefully it was, because that would basically be, an attack on Germany if they didn't. All right, let's look at the packaging. So Buc-ee's is known for this guy right here, that beaver. I think his name is Buc-ee Beaver, hence Buc-ee's. So this, as it says, is fiery hot. All of the bottles are labeled like this, and they're actually very colorful. You got maracas, you got a bunch of other swirls and shapes. It's a very colorful label, and then the distinctive Buc-ee with the red hat and the yellow background. Now let's look at the ingredients. The ingredients include tomatillos, apple juice from concentrate, ascorbic acid, 7-pot Primo peppers, onions, jalapeno peppers, fresh garlic, water, black vinegar, kosher salt, garlic powder, habanero peppers, yuzu vinegar. All the ingredients in the sauce have already been covered, so I actually want to talk about Buc-ee's. You have no idea. Where do we begin with Buc-ee's? So it started in 1982. They're known for having extremely clean bathrooms. You could essentially eat off of them. And Buc-ee's, it's an understatement to say that Texans love Buc-ee's. It's like a fucking religion, like fanaticism. I know a lot of my friends are huge Buc-ee's fans. They're nice, don't get me wrong. I'm also very not I'm very hipster in a way where if everyone likes something, I hate it. So I don't actually hate Buc-ee's. I actually really do like it. The New Braunfels location, which is the only Buc-ee's I've been to, is the world's largest convenience store. The Buc-ee's in Katy, Texas, has the world's longest car wash at 255 feet, which is almost an entire football field. The headquarters is in Lake Jackson, Texas, and it is owned by Arch Alpin III. Before we get any further, let's hear from this week's sponsor. Don't you hate when your neighbors keep stealing your Wi-Fi? It's not satisfying enough to boot them off. That's where Neighbor comes into play. Not only will it boot your neighbor off your network, but it will also infect their device with malware to teach those thieving bastards a lesson. stop your neighbors from thieving and get them grieving with Neighbor. Now for the moment of truth. So it smells vinegary. Smells like garlic as well. It does have two types of vinegar in here. Garlic powder as well as fresh garlic. So I expect this to be a pretty heavy, garlic heavy sauce, which I love. I love garlic. Probably why you shouldn't talk to me after I eat. It doesn't smell particularly hot, but again, I have been fooled before. Being that this is made out of 7-pot Primo, it is up there. It's less than Reaper, but it's hotter than Ghost Pepper, if I'm not mistaken. So this has a greenish reddish sauce, very pulpy, a lot of seeds. It is kind of see-through though, so it might be, I don't know, it's not as viscous as, it's a little pulpy, but it's not very viscous, so maybe there's a little bit more vinegar in here than I thought, but all right, well, here we go, taste test. Cheers. Okay, so the burn slowly rising in the back of the tongue. Also did get a little bit of garlic. I don't know what else that flavor is. It's garlic and something else. Almost tastes like a spice blend. I'm not talking like Taco Bell sauce, but you can taste the spices. It's not overrun with vinegar, so it's not a very vinegary sauce, which means it's a pretty neutral sauce. We'll get to the flavor profile in a bit, but I mean, as far as the burn goes, it's a middleweight. I actually expected this to be fiery hot as it said on the label, but I mean, the burn's already subsiding. It's a flavorful sauce, but like I would have actually liked for it to have a little bit more salt to it, just a touch more. Everything else is pretty good. I think the salt would enhance the flavor just a little bit more. Between the tomatillo, like you don't taste the yuzu vinegar, I guess, very much. There's not very much citrus in this, but so what would I use this on? To be honest with you, the flavor profile lends itself pretty well. It does have a little bit more garlic than probably your other sauces will have. But because it's not very acidic, not very vinegary, you can pretty much use it on anything. I'm telling you, breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything savory, and especially if it's got a lot of garlic in it, by all means, use it. Very versatile. I would even throw this on beef dishes, of course, chicken, pork, any type of veggie type dish. Now, this is not something you would throw on sushi. You could probably use it in some like Asian dishes. Definitely like Mexican dishes it would work well with American dishes, hot dogs, blah blah, all that. It is a tasty sauce. If you do see it at Buc-ee's, I would suggest picking it up. And maybe for the everyday person, it will be very very hot. But yeah, it's just a middleweight. So next week I'll be reviewing a sauce from our friends to the north, the Dawsons. It's gonna be their cedar smoked garlic sauce. Actually, very excited to try that one. Until then, I'm Henry, and remember, spice up your life. Take care.